promise trust and honesty to that person. Until death do you part. Now imagine that this person in whom you put all of your trust has been lying to you. They've been doing something behind your back without even bothering to tell you about it. Members of the jury, what I have just described to you is the exact situation that the defendant, Marla Manning, was in until late November last year. Her husband, David Manning, told her that he was running a private investigation office from inside their home. Unfortunately, David lied to Marla. David Manning, the sole supporter of the household, was actually running an illegal marijuana growing operation from inside of an office. Marla was not allowed to go into this office for what David said was total privacy for his client. Poor Marla was kept in the dark by David, and she had no way of knowing what was going on inside of that office. Members of the jury, the state is going to try to convince you today that Marla knew about her husband's illicit activities going on in a locked private room in which she was not allowed, and that she is not a nurturing mother to her son Sean. Today, I, Tony Ordonez, along with my co-counsel Daniel Saunders and Juan Rodriguez, will show you that this could not be further from the truth. Marla Manning is charged with possession, manufacturing, or cultivating cannabis, and neglect of child. Through our witness's testimony, the defense will show that the state fails to meet the necessary elements needed to find Marla Manning guilty of either charge. The state of Florida must show you that Marla Manning, beyond a reasonable doubt, had knowledge and control over the marijuana in her home. They must also show you that Marla Manning had the means to produce, manufacture, package label, propagate, compound, cultivate, and grow an illegal drug in her home in order to find her guilty of manufacturing or cultivation of cannabis. The state must also prove to you that Marla unlawfully and knowingly engaged in illegal activities that could result in serious physical or mental injury to her son. Through the testimony of Irene Green, one of Marla's closest friends, you will learn about Marla through the eyes of a friend, a neighbor, and someone who had confidence in Marla. Irene will tell you how Marla was not allowed to go into David's private office, even when they were decorating it, and that she knew for a fact Marla did not have a key to enter that office. Ms. Green's testimony will show you that Marla was mainly the parent caring for Sean, and that she was very loving and kind towards her son. She will also tell you that she had spent many occasions with Sean without David or Marla around, and that Sean appeared to be a healthy, normal, wonderful little boy with a sparkling personality. This testimony will show that Marla Manning did not engage in any activities that could have put her son in any risk of mental, emotional, or physical injury. The testimony of Principal Michelle Gordon will show you that Marla Manning was a caring and loving mother with only her son's well-being in mind. Marla was always the first to volunteer for field trips at school, and she even had aspirations to run for board on the PTA at her son's school. Ms. Gordon will also tell you how happy Sean was whenever his mother was around. When Marla testifies, you will hear how she had no idea of David's doings. The state of Florida will not be able to show you any evidence that proves Marla had any physical control, either indirectly or directly, over the marijuana, an element that must be proven to you, the jury, beyond a reasonable doubt, for you to convict her of possession. You will learn how Marla was completely unaware of the illegal activities going on in her home until the very day the police came knocking at her door to investigate. The night before, her world was turned upside down as she had gotten into a car accident. She will tell you how she was driving her husband's car instead of hers, and that she had trouble adjusting to the change, so she got into a minor accident. The state is going to bring into the court a doctor to testify on the supposed risk that Sean would have experienced were he exposed to marijuana. This doctor has no personal knowledge or experience with the defendant or her son, and has no place testifying as to what happened to Sean Manning at all. The state has no evidence illustrating Marla Manning's guilt of either indoor cultivation of marijuana or neglect of child. As you hear the evidence today, remember that the state must meet the burden of proof and prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Marla Manning knowingly possessed the illegal drug and by doing so endangered her son. We, the defense, will show you how loving and nurturing a mother Marla was to Sean, and that she had no idea that an illegal growing operation was going on right under her nose in her own home. She was an unsuspecting victim in her own home, a victim to her husband's lies. She's just trying to get back to a normal life and caring for the child that she loves so deeply. Thank you.